So the goal of today's video is to cover asset health within Spartacus. When we talk about asset health, we're referring to all the preventive, predictive, and condition-based activities that you're doing at your site. So they can all be centralized under one platform, which would be Spartacus, giving you good insight on asset health, bad actors, common failures, and really, you see the whole picture here. One easy way to access all the latest results inspections. All right, so I'm gonna click on asset health. So for your general knowledge, the box here refers to the corporation. So here in our case, it's demo cells, and this refers to the site. This word right here being identical to this here, this means that we're looking on asset health at the site level. What do I see first thing here? I see my overall asset health of the site is at 72%. Where does this number comes from? Every time a result is added to Spartacus, whether it's through web APIs, whether it's to automatic entry, whether it's to manual entry, it has to go to the same grading scheme. Normal would be 100% asset health, which is green. Follow closely is associated with 95% asset health. And then if we were to create an alert or an exception, it would go from yellow, orange, red, which is 75, 50, and 25% asset health. So right now, 72% is the latest average of all my technologies combined. I'm looking at 72% asset health. The value that I have right under it is what we call operational risk. So in Spartacus, you have the availability to associate a potential cost with every alert that you open. Let's do a basic example. So let's say you have a conveyor, for instance. You know that conveyor is running at 10 grand per hour. And you know that on average, when you have an unexpected breakdown, it usually is stopped for 5 hours. So that means if your asset health would be at 0%, you would have a total potential cost of 5 times grand, so $50,000. With that being said, if I open an alert of 50%, I'd be exposing 50% of my asset health. So the cost associated with this alert would be $25,000. With that being said, if we do this simple exercise on every single exceptions that we create within Spartacus, well, it's gonna help us for two things. If I have a cost associated with each alert, when it comes time to do corrective actions, I'm gonna go where the cost is the highest because this is where there's most at risk. So that's the first thing. And then second thing, if you're able to address your potential failures prior to an actual breakdown, when you do so, Spartacus is gonna ask you, do you wanna mark those as savings? If you say yes, at the end of the year, all of those savings will be automatically stored for you based on technologies, areas, labor, all that good stuff. So this is what it refers to. Right inside, you have your overall asset health pie chart. So easily here, I can see that 67% of my results are all positive results. And this is interactive, by the way. I could click on it and have a feel for it and see all those lists. And as you see in Spartacus, every time you pull a list like this, it can be exported into an Excel file if you want to do a more deep dive approach within it. And then on the right hand side, you would have your bad actors, which is basically all your assets that have the most hits or the most alert created as we speak. Again, I've said this is 72% for all my technologies combined. And by the way, here we have a filter. So let's say you have a dedicated team that only does vibration analysis. And yes, it's good for them to know what's the overall asset health, but let's say they want to see, okay, only with regards to vibe, what's our asset health, what's our operational risk? They could come in, select vibration. They could also select some specific areas. Let's say you have dedicated reliability engineers for specific areas. Same thing for component types, if you have mechanical, E&I instruments. But basically, if I were to filter vibration only here, hit save, I go back, you can see that my asset health and my operational risk will adapt based on my filters. Let me deactivate those filters and carry on with the demo. Then on the left-hand side, you're gonna have your plant hierarchy, which in this case, we only have 2 areas. And then those same areas will show up here, but they're gonna be ranked from worst asset health to the best asset health. So what I'll do next is I'll drill inside the plant hierarchy until we reach the component level to show you where all the results is stored. So let me click on receiving, for instance. As you see here, as I'm navigating through my plant hierarchy, all those KPIs adapt. Same thing here, those are all my assets listed from worst asset health to the best asset health. And then if I click on one of my assets, under my assets, I'm gonna have all my components. And again, Spartacus is a reliability platform. We attach every results at the component level. Then if I were to click on my motor, I could have a picture for my motor. I can track my asset health. I can track my operational risk for this specific component. I can track asset health over 1 year, 5 years. And then if I scroll down, I'm gonna have all my latest inspection results. So I can see I have a vibration inspection results. We have nothing in O analysis. We have thermography results, nothing in ultrasonic. We have inspections, lubrication, electrical tests, other NDT, diagnostic calibration, and then if we were to have wireless, we would have it centralized right here. Ultimately, every time an alert is created within Spartacus, there's a failure mode attached to it, there's a diagnostic, there can be some pictures attached, you have the name of the analyst, the data was created. Ultimately, entering all this data within Spartacus, we'll be able to generate a lot of KPIs, but this will be for a further video. Thank you guys, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions on Spartacus Asset Health.